Hello QA community! Today I'd like to talk about test coverage, how to measure it, how to improve it, and how to leverage your test coverage results in order to allocate your QA resources. Ready? Let's give it a start. We all know everybody wants to have high quality products. So by representing the whole QA community, let me emphasize this from get-go. So for every QA team, it's very important, first, to identify part of functionality that not actually tested. Second, to prevent defects as early as possible. And lastly, to keep time, scope, and testing cost under control. More and more companies recognize importance of investing into QA resources to deliver better and high-quality softwares. However, spending tons of money doesn't give you immunity from your customer complaints on a broken functionality or poor user experience. So, why is that? Why, after we thoroughly tested, we keep getting issues from production builds? From my years in QA industry and exchanging ideas with experienced QA folks, I believe one of the major reasons is poor test coverage. Before diving into the cave, let's define what test coverage is. Simply put, test coverage determines whether your test cases are actually covering the application functionality and to what degree the functionality is covered. Usually we refer to test coverage percentage rate. Usually developers in QA work in parallel, and by the time the first version of your application is ready, QA team has their test plans completed and ready to be executed. Now, this is the first time when you should start measuring your test coverage. There are many ways to measure test coverage, and let me name just widely used ones. Those are, first, measuring against numbers of features or product requirements. Second, measuring based on web elements or GUI icons that present on a specific page or mobile screen. Another one, measuring your coverage based on the user flows, means how many user flows are covered by the test cases you have. Those methods give you a good sense on how well your test cases are written and whether you have any gaps in your test plan. So you can take that into consideration and improve it. Let me give you one example from my past experience. Imagine any CMS like WordPress or Wix.com. We were building a very similar enterprise platform. At the very beginning of the development stage, we measure our test coverage against product and business requirements. Eventually, with the readiness of our first version, we remeasure our test coverage based on a web elements interaction approach, which I mentioned earlier. Then, after the product was already released, despite our measured test coverage was 95%, we kept getting issues from production builds. And of course, now, looking backward, it is pretty clear picture that our test cases were not written based on a real user behavior. What was the solution? We decided to log user interaction on every page, and that gave us capability to build real user scenarios. Then we compared these steps to the test cases our QA folks follow. In our case, was 25% discrepancy, which is pretty big gap that was not tested at all. So the action item of the improvements was test cases and test plan update based on a real user scenarios. Not only did we revise them, we also matched the highest revenue generated scenarios to our test cases. This also helps to prioritize your test execution in agile environment when time and resources are very limited. Let's make a conclusion here. Measuring and maintaining the high test coverage percentage help you to reduce issues that are coming from production. But remember to incorporate real user behavior as early as you can. Let's say your product is not released yet. There are ways to simulate your potential users. For example, run some dogfooding or some beta testing. I hope you'll find this video helpful. Also, let's discuss how to reduce your production issues and how to improve the quality of your product holistically. Please share your experience, and thank you for watching.